Mauricio Umansky shares update amid Kyle Richards' divorce, May 2025. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member Kyle Richards and her estranged husband, Mauricio Umansky, have been separated since 2023, and now Mauricio is offering a look at their relationship today amid their separation and almost 2 years since Kyle confirmed their plans to divorce. The agency founder spoke with Briefing on Bravo recently, where Mauricio openly talked about their relationship. "We talk all the time," he confirmed. He also stated that things are amazing between them. "I love her," he added. In fact, Kyle and Mauricio, along with their 3 oldest daughters, all recently spent time together during a night out in Los Angeles right on Mother's Day weekend earlier this month. When speaking with Briefing on Bravo prior to the Mother's Day hangout session, he also dished on an incident that occurred at their shared house in La Quinta. Kyle and their daughters had been attending Stagecoach 2025 when she ran into a snake at their home and called on Mauricio for help. In a video posted to their daughter Sofia Umansky's TikTok account, Kyle can be seen talking to Mauricio on the phone, trying to get him to remove the snake from the house. Mauricio weighed in on the incident during his conversation with the outlet. "I thought it was hilarious," he said. "I wasn't nearby then." Inside Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky's weekend at Stagecoach 2025. Although Mauricio was unable to help Kyle remove the snake from their house, he was on hand to attend the festival with his daughters. Mauricio first took to his Instagram story on April 25, where he revealed that he and his eldest daughter, Alexia Umansky, were on a road trip to the Country Music Festival. Kyle was also there, supporting her niece, Paris Hilton, with her daughters, Farrah Brittany Aljafree and Sophia. While it's unclear if Kyle and Mauricio interacted at the 3-day festival, they seemed to have a lot of fun either way. Kyle Richards opens up about the status of her separation from Mauricio Umansky. During Part 3 of the RHOBH Season 14 reunion, Kyle spoke openly about the status of her separation from Mauricio and whether she would get back together with him. "I know he regrets things that have happened that got us to this place," Kyle said in response to being asked if Mauricio wants to get back together with her. "I don't know if he wants to get back together because he has never said that." Kyle expressed her own regrets in their split. "I mean, I have regrets for both of us allowing us to get to this place," she explained. "I wish that we had communicated better when things started bubbling up." Mauricio Umansky shares update amid Kyle Richards' divorce, a story of love, family, and unfinished endings. The sun dipped behind the Hollywood Hills, casting a soft lavender hue across the Los Angeles skyline. From the patio of his West Hollywood home, Mauricio Umansky gazed out at the golden wash of twilight, his phone buzzing with another message. It was Sophia, again. She had just posted a TikTok video of their family's chaotic encounter with a snake in the La Quinta house, and now fans were in a frenzy. He chuckled softly, shaking his head. "I wasn't even there," he murmured to himself. But the video had gone viral, as anything involving the Umanskys seemed to do these days. It was Mother's Day weekend, May 2025. Nearly 2 years had passed since he and Kyle Richards had announced their separation, and still the world watched their every move, waiting for closure or perhaps a reconciliation neither of them had promised. The quiet before Mauricio hadn't intended to become the center of Bravo gossip again. After all, his focus had shifted almost entirely to the agency's global expansion. With high-profile deals and international clients, his days were stacked with meetings, calls, and strategy sessions. But no matter how far he traveled, no matter how hard he worked, Kyle remained the name that shadowed every interview, every dinner, every event. And this time, he didn't mind. Not today. When he sat down with Briefing on Bravo earlier in the month, he hadn't planned to be so candid. The question came gently, as they always did from Bravo-friendly outlets. "How are things with Kyle, really?" Mauricio smiled then. Not the practiced, polished smile he wore for red carpets or press tours, but something softer. "We talk all the time," he said simply. "Things are amazing between us." That word, amazing, rang in his ears now as he stared at the faint stars beginning to blink in the sky. Snake in the desert. La Quinta had always been their sanctuary. Away from Beverly Hills glitz, it was where their family would unwind, poolside brunches, lazy golf cart rides, and quiet nights under the desert sky. But Stagecoach Weekend 2025 had introduced a twist to the usual nostalgia. Kyle had gone with the girls. Farah, Sophia, and even Paris was in tow. Mauricio had driven in separately with Alexia, catching up on their road trip about everything and nothing. The infamous snake incident unfolded while he was halfway through a country set at the festival. Kyle had called in a panic, her voice crackling over the line, frantic but somehow still funny. "There's a snake in the kitchen, Mo, a snake. What do I do?" "I'm not nearby," he laughed, surrounded by blaring music and his daughter's amused expression. "You'll have to handle this one, babe." Kyle had scoffed through the phone. "Don't call me babe unless you're coming here with a shovel." It was a classic Kyle line. They weren't together anymore, technically, but years of inside jokes and shared chaos didn't disappear with a divorce filing. Later, Sophia posted the entire call online, overlaid with dramatic country music and Kyle stomping around the house in cowboy boots. The fans had gone wild, speculating what the light-hearted exchange really meant. To Mauricio, it just meant they were still family. Backstage of a life, Stagecoach was dusty, loud, and unapologetically country, exactly the kind of energy Mauricio thrived on. Amid the denim, boots, and beer, he found clarity. He wasn't there with Kyle, but he wasn't alone either. Their daughters surrounded him, dancing and singing like the world hadn't shifted beneath their family 2 years ago. He watched Alexia lose herself in the music, and for a moment, everything felt right. From afar, he saw Kyle laughing with Farah, her arms slung around Paris, both wearing rhinestone-drenched hats. She was radiant, untouchably beautiful. He hadn't seen her like that in a while, not since before the tabloids, the awkward silence over dinner, the too late conversations about what went wrong. They didn't cross paths directly that weekend. It wasn't avoidance, it was respect. They both needed space to be their own people, but in their daughter's joy, they found unity again. That night, Mauricio posted a story, a photo of a dusty boot and a beer can beside a crackling bonfire. The caption was simple: "Family is forever." Reunion revelations. Back in Beverly Hills, the world had watched Kyle's RHO Beach reunion appearance with bated breath. Part 3 of season 14 was raw, real in the way that only late-night, mascara-streaked reality TV could be. "I know he regrets things," Kyle said, her voice breaking only slightly. "I don't know if he wants to get back together. He's never said that." Mauricio had watched it from a hotel suite in New York, halfway through a conference call with an investor from Dubai. He paused the video, rewound that moment again. She was right. He'd never said it. Not out loud. The night they told the girls they were separating, Kyle had sat on the edge of the bed, arms folded tightly across her chest. She looked exhausted, not just from filming or press, but from holding everything together for so long. "We didn't break because of one big thing," she'd whispered. "We cracked quietly." Now, nearly 2 years later, he could still feel the weight of that night. Conversations in the quiet, Mauricio didn't want to paint a false picture. He told Briefing on Bravo the truth. They were separated. Divorce was still on the table, but the love hadn't left the room. "I love her," he said. It wasn't for show. He meant it. When he spoke to Kyle now, it wasn't like before. There was no tension, no quiet fury in their pauses. There was laughter, shared concern over their kids, teasing. It was a new kind of intimacy, one built on respect, not ownership. They were learning to coexist, not just as co-parents, but as humans who had been through something seismic and survived. "We didn't fail," Kyle had said once, over coffee at the Ivy. "We evolved." A Mother's Day to remember. They hadn't planned the Mother's Day dinner as a statement. But when the paparazzi caught them stepping out of Nobu with all 3 daughters, the internet exploded. Kyle and Mauricio back together? Friendly exes or rekindled flames? Body language experts weigh in on that hug. The truth was simpler. They were honoring Kyle, mother of 4, heart of their family. It wasn't romantic. It was real. Mauricio had brought her a necklace, turquoise and gold, her favorites. Nothing extravagant, just thoughtful. When she opened it at the table, Kyle smiled but said nothing. Later, she slipped it on without a word. They laughed more that night than they had in months. Farah recounted childhood pranks. Alexia teased Sophia about her snake TikTok fame. And Kyle, surrounded by her grown daughters, just watched, eyes glistening. Mauricio saw it. That flicker, that maybe. After dinner, they lingered in the parking lot. Kyle wrapped her arms around him briefly, a soft thank you brushing against his cheek. "You always knew how to make Mother's Day special," she said. The hard truth, in private, there were still hard moments.